Hey everybody, welcome back to the Backstage at Open Highway podcast. I'm your host, John Henry. This is episode 21, so thank you for following and listening and watching. It's growing a little bit with every podcast, so thank you. Also, I wanted to say to the folks who came out to Silverado and Ben Nichols last week, 2 shows at the Golden Record, thank you. Those were 2 really awesome shows. Full room, a lot of tattoos being done. Silverado had someone come and do some tattoos, and Ben Nichols, as I mentioned last week, was on tour with Ahlvers, who's a very accomplished, well-known tattoo artist. So thank you for coming to those shows and supporting Open Highway Presents. Coming down the open highway, we have Caitlin Butts on September the 13th. She's a force of nature, one of the premier up-and-coming artists in the Texas red dirt country scene. Just an amazing artist, so make sure you catch Caitlin Butts. And while I'm at it, you should like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's under Open Highway Music Festival. I'll link it below. It really does help with visibility and hitting the algorithm, which was a good segue because Tyler Armstrong from the band Feel is my guest this week. And in our interview, we discussed the algorithm for how your content is viewed and pushed out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc. It's kind of an interesting thing, and it's kind of like a new KPI or just a new business practice that artists have to do. You have to have your socials tight. You got to be tight with them socials, yo. So I was able to sit down with Tyler. Just a little bit about him and his band. They started during COVID. Grew. They've been playing shows here in town and around the country the last few years. Really gaining some steam here in St. Louis. Some high-profile shows. They've signed with management and booking, which is huge, and they're getting ready later this fall, or this upcoming fall, to go on it's like a 40-day run with the band Dirty Honey. So local St. Louis area folks really, really grinding it out, and good things are happening for them. He's a super thoughtful dude. Thinks a lot about music, knows a lot about music, guitars. I mean, we could nerd out on guitars for forever. At one point in the interview, he's like, should I explain what my rig actually is? And that's not how he talks, but, and I'm like, yeah. Like, so hopefully you like a little bit of guitar talk. You probably do. It's not too much, but I sincerely hope that you enjoy Tyler Armstrong of the band Feel. Tyler, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. What's up?
Thanks for taking the time out to join us.
Sure did. Always enjoy talking to you.
Yeah, man. Like, your band is doing some great things. You got a big tour coming up with Dirty Honey, right?
Yep. Yeah.
30-something days.
All this fall. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So, I mean, you're coast to coast, Midwest, South. You're everywhere.
Yeah, and it'd be our first international date. I mean, it's only an hour out of the country, but it's in Ontario, but it's still kind of cool.
Yeah, I first heard of Dirty Honey through a hockey podcast called Spittin' Chicklets. They were always talking about them on there.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah,
Awesome.
For the folks out here that maybe aren't familiar with your band, can you give like the little 1-minute version of the formation of how you guys started? Because you have a lot of good things happening in a really short amount of time, and it's great to see.
Yeah, so I'm in the band Feel, and I mean, formation kind of came from a different band I was in with the drummer TJ. So we've been kind of at it for a long time. That band was like from like 9 years ago. But this band, kind of the way it is now, sort of started happening COVID era, and we played our first show in 2021. I think it was October 8th, and from there we just played a few shows regionally and just did our marketing and released music, and just kind of from there just had stuff happen for us. Really, not very exciting. It just I wish I could say we did. I mean, it was hard work, no doubt, but it just kind of been happening. People are digging the music, and I don't know. That's pretty much it, man. I wish it was more.
Pretty organic though. Just a bunch of dudes that like the same type of stuff and
Totally.
like to jam and hang and want to take a serious crack at the going for it. So
Yeah. Sorry, I'm fixing my hair. I like just woke up. I'm seeing what's up.
no, man, I think you look really good. Do you want to you want to keep adjusting? Are you
No,
good?
I'm all right. I'm cool. I don't care what people think. It's all right.
No,
But
man.
yeah, man, we're pretty much on the same page. Like, and we all have our different influences, but it's all related, and we all just really love music and playing together. So that certainly helps. 'Cause I've been in a lot of situations where it's kind of dull, and there just isn't much to go by. And when we started getting more attention was really about a year ago, and it was the first release with our singer Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
We had other singers prior that we loved, but it wasn't the right fit. So it kind of goes to show, like, we had all the elements besides this one element,
Right.
and once the element came in, and then really it's been over the past 6 months that things have been, as the kids say, hashtag popping off.
Popping off. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you guys are cruising down the road, what are you pumping through the speakers? What are you listening to?
We listen to a ton of stuff, man. We were just talking about this the other day. I mean, a lot of like stuff that you might assume listen to our music. If I'm controlling the aux, which is the majority of the time, thank God. A lot of Laurel Canyon and acoustic music.
Uh-huh.
But there's like rock in there and stuff. But we listen to a lot of like classic country, Marty Robbins and the Outlaw stuff, Waylon and all that kind of stuff, and country rock, the Burrito Brothers and stuff. But a lot of jazz and a lot of old R&B and soul and Motown, and we also all like metal. So
Yeah.
we'll like, going down nostalgia lane, we'll play Avenged Sevenfold and Bullet for My Valentine and Kill Switch Engage and some heavier stuff. But it's kind of all over the place. And no one really, if they don't like it, they just go to sleep. So that's awesome.
Yeah. No complaining. Just
yeah,
rest.
Everyone shuts up pretty good, which is awesome.
It's funny how that's across the board. Everything from, like you were saying, metal and jazz and everything mixed in. But I think that's what you find with people who really love music is that they're like that. They like the hardest rocker will sometimes surprise you with what they're listening to.
I mean, totally. I mean, the only people who like write music in the band is Garrett, the singer, and I. As far as songs go.
Yeah.
And we write our own stuff for ourselves, and it's totally different than Feel, like way, way totally different. And it's really cool because Feel is just like the band Feel now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Unfortunately, but is just another outlet. It just happens to be that it's the outlet that everyone tends to like from us, so we're going towards that. But I meant to text you the other day. I took a picture of it, but we were coming back from I don't remember. I think like Bloomington or something like that. And I put on your latest deal.
So cool.
We listened to that recently. We enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll look at my Spotify. Probably got a couple of cents, so that's always good.
I know. Yeah, that 0.004% or whatever it is on the dollar. Yeah.
I'll save like the ones that I'll get like a Swedish or like a Scandinavian regional check of royalty stuff, and it's like 4 cents, and it's like $1 to mail it. so
Yes.
it's like negative, so thanks guys.
God,
Uh,
yeah. We're all in the black.
when you guys are when you're going on this run, do you have a guitar rig picked out that you're gonna be bringing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna be rolling with the what I used this last run. But I'm gonna be taking some. We're gonna be out like we come home for a wedding, and that's like 2 days. But besides that, we're out for like I think it's 56 days. So I'm bringing stuff, in a logical way, like logistically for like backups. But yeah, I do have a rig picked out that I think I'm gonna roll with as the main thing. Issue is like I like new gear, but I have mostly old stuff, and that's the stuff I gravitate towards. But it's also the stuff you're like, I hope this turns on.
Right,
Like even if it's
right,
been, you know, tested, like serviced by the best guys. So,
right.
but yeah, I do. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's it's 2 amp rig, and they're both on all the time. I have done like wet dry stuff, but I haven't been lately.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a 1969 Marshall Super Bass,
Mm-hmm.
still a plexi panel through a 412. But I've got not stock speakers, but older speakers of different kinds in it, and then that's paired with a 1965 Vox AC-15.
Oh
The
geez. Yeah,
Vox
so
is doing like the very juicy mids. Like a lot of people think Voxes are like really bright, which they can be,
yeah,
but they're really
yeah,
super mid heavy.
yeah.
And Marshalls are too, but in a different way. So like the Vox is like almost like the body, like the chest, and then the
Mm-hmm.
Marshall is the tightness of the low end and like
Mm-hmm.
the more like present high end, and they work together super well. If I don't say so myself.
And you're running it. You just run them full the whole time? Like both are coming through the mix at, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Like I said, I have done wet dry. I don't like put one on for like a solo,
Right.
but something like that. Yeah, I've never really done that. But yeah, they're on all the time. And they clean up so well. Those old amps clean up, so I get all my clean tones from it, and all of my, you know, rhythm stuff is just volume on the guitar backed off, and then leads. I'm just turning that up. But and I do run like a board, and it's been becoming more and more complex. It's not super crazy complex. 'Cause I'm not like the Edge or anything.
Right.
Um, but yeah, that would be a whole nother podcast to explain it. It's just too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm not as big of a gear nerd as you probably, but I love hearing about guitars and just hearing what people are using.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the instrument is the voice, the cliche, but it is
Right.
true, and it's just interesting too. Like for myself and other people, like some people use the same exact thing forever, and it's like their thing, and that's awesome. But for me, I gravitate towards tend to be similar things: British amps, American. I guess those are the only two kinds really. But
Yeah.
uh, but I do like. I don't know if bored's the right word, but it's like maybe you just get so used to it, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm really hearing something else now. And then the second I use something else, I'm like, I probably should go back to what I'm used to. But it changes you know how it is. It
Yeah.
changes
You
per
just get.
run. You just never know, or what
Yeah.
the batch of songs needs.
Yeah. Cool. Um, how did that tour or how did the upcoming tour with Dirty Honey come about? Did you meet the band? Were you guys hanging out? Did management kind of set it up or whatever
Yeah,
situation?
so we had 3 shows with them this past July, and that was all set up before we had management.
Yeah.
We were in talks in March and April. And I think you and I were talking a lot at this point because of like, what the heck am I supposed to do with all this stuff? And
Yeah, yeah.
we're just getting so much attention, it's overwhelming. And so we weren't signed to Red Light yet. I don't think, but this tour was through management because our manager works with um, Dirty Honey's manager, Mark Dadia. They share a band that they do together called Three Doors Down.
Yeah.
called Three Doors Down as if no one knows them, but
Yeah.
Three Doors
Yeah.
Down. So that got set up
Kryptonite.
for that. Not we've had other stuff come up through booking, but that was through Red Light. And I guess Dirty Honey had just, how those bigger tours work.
Yeah.
Everyone throws their name in the hat, and I guess they were just like, we don't care really. Like we want feel or the band feel,
Hmm.
and that's just how it worked. And now whether we like it or not, we're gonna be stuck out in a van for 56 days.
Yeah. Yeah. Chasing the bus.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Hoping not to lose our trailer or the chains don't break.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
at least it's not too deep into winter.
totally. Yeah, and I mean, we're gonna. None
You
of us
probably,
have done anything this extensive, and it's just gonna be a beautiful time for weather. I think. I mean, it ends in LA in like the middle of November, so I'm assuming it's gonna feel pretty nice out. And
yeah,
what I'm looking forward to maybe the most is like just the traveling aspect. I mean, because we all know the Midwest. Like we grew up
sure.
here, cornfields, and up in Iowa and Wisconsin's really beautiful. Some places too, but going into like Ontario, into Canada, and then we cross over to get to I think Portland, Maine. So we have to drive through Niagara and all
Oh,
this.
very
So
cool.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that mostly.
And you guys do such a good job with content, which is such a part of the game now, whether we like it
Totally.
or not. I mean, and you guys crush that.
Thanks.
I'll be scrolling through shorts like before I go to bed, and I'll see two or three of different clips of you guys will come through.
Yeah.
So, in my world, you're very prevalent, so that's been cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Thank you. It's crazy how like we'll be at shows, like not our own shows. We'll be opening, and we'll have a good handful of folks come up and say, "Yeah, I saw you on this reel. I saw you on this short, whatever." And yeah, we're kind of hitting on all of them right now. Even the Facebook ones are, which usually don't do super well for bands. So we're blessed that those are working right now. But yeah, the YouTube shorts are all that. So mainly, this whole thing kind of started with a vision I had in mind, and I like it's it's hard to say with a vision because it's just like what I've wanted to do since I was 12 as far as musically,
Hmm.
and but I'm not amazing at social media. I like I'm okay, but TJ the drummer he doesn't write any of the music, so that's kind of the job he took. And
Yeah,
though like as you progress and get larger, like right now it's like full force, but like if we're like not that we'd be as big as the Beatles or Metallica, who knows? But like they're not doing the kind of posts we are. So as it grows, he won't have to do as much. But right now, it's such like an important foundation that we're
yeah,
building from that social media. I mean, the way that I view it is like, and it's not the same because it's apples and oranges. But like Spotify is essentially like sort of the radio nowadays,
yeah,
and then um, social media is almost like a mix between MTV and like your fan club
yeah,
because like it's just if you want it you can get constant new stuff and there's a lot of new rock bands that have been doing similar things like Ace Monroe out of Nashville and some other bands we really like but yeah TJ's been a really big part of that. The way that we say it is like I have the vision but he's been really good at implementing that over social media and it like you said it's so important and I'm looking forward to us growing knock on wood knock on metal table that we don't have to like do it as much but it's you can't go without it and I'm glad it's working and I usually say people come for or buy the reels but they stay for the music and I think that's kind of what our big thing is right now is that there are a lot of rock bands out there. I think we have a little bit of a different thing about us. But there's a lot of great rock bands out right now. But we do have that combination of forcing it on you with the social media, but also like people are just seeming to dig it. I don't really know how else
Well,
to say.
I think it's great, and I don't think you're forcing it. I think people are drawn to your music and they're clicking on it and they're watching it and listening, and so it's getting popular with other people. And I think
Totally.
that it's great that in your band you have some roles defined because when you're when you're taking a swing for it and really trying to make it, like you have to have all the wheels turning in the same direction,
Yeah.
and everybody's got to have something that they're working on. So that's cool and it's great stuff, man. Like he's doing a really good job with it. So like all
Yeah,
the
I mean, we've been really careful about, being in a band or any band. I mean, I've been in bands since I was 12, but specifically the evolution of me joining the band that sort of turned into feel the band feel. Man, that's gonna take a while to do, but uh, to get used to. But TJ joining like 6 months after I was in that band, we've learned we know we're naive about some things. We're not, A&R anywhere, but like we've learned so much about what we not even just not what not to do, but what we don't want to do. What has worked, what hasn't worked, and like, that's such a when folks like younger people ask like, well, how do I do this? Like, because like you said, and this is no slight at what you said, like it's been happening really quick as far as people know.
right.
Like it's been going on.
Yeah.
I've been writing original music for God Almighty, 15 years. So like over half my life. Um, but yeah, we just been very careful in how we tailor it, and we've been blessed that where with the growth, we've also been able to experiment too. I mean, we're like the algorithm's best friend right now for some reason, and I it's just a really enjoyable time. We're very blessed.
Well, it's great that you're taking a minute to kind of breathe that in and to recognize, be present in that moment.
Yeah, that's I mean, we were just on a Zoom call with distribution the other day, and like the head dude of the conversation was like, "You need to take this in and breathe it in." And I have a friend named Dan Kaufman. He's just an all-time dude. We thank him on anything we release because he's done so much for the band, and he's one of my best friends, if not my best friend. And he was in a band in the '80s called Passenger,
Hmm.
and they were like in a deal with Geffen, and then it all went kaput and all
Yeah.
this crap. But anyway, I go fishing at his lake that he's got, and he told me like a little over a year ago, he's like, "You better enjoy your fishing right now," and he's like, something's gonna happen." So that's always the mindset I have. Like, I'm still just fishing, man. Like, and it's been overwhelming. I won't lie, but it's been like good. Like, we're figuring out, well, is this what we really want? And it is,
Yeah.
but it's you have to step back, especially being from the Midwest. We've all lived such laid back lives. It's so slow here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
It
is
doesn't
slower.
seem slow until you go to the other
Yeah.
places. And I encourage everyone to keep that mindset with it, just because like you know you got to like if we get too far ahead of ourselves, then at the core the music's not going to be good, you know, and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But anyway, I could ramble on that forever.
Well, what is one thing that you and your bandmates would like to accomplish? Whether it's some type of tour, playing a venue, is there something that you'd really like to accomplish in
Oh
the music
man.
business?
Well, of course, it'd be great to have a strictly headlining tour. And I do think that's coming eventually. Um, we have some headlining shows on this tour. They're on some off days, but that would be great. I mean, the biggest thing that we want to see is these followers translate into ticket sales. Um, you can have 500,000 followers. I mean, I know this for a fact, and 20 people show up to a gig
Right.
in your hometown.
Right.
So that doesn't always
Yeah.
translate. I think it will for us, but we've got music coming out. The day we haven't announced it, but in September, in October, and I don't know, man. The word of goals is a little tough for us because this whole time we have not we don't deviate. We just have been so focused and going. So we're just doing it. And I guess that's the goal is just to keep going like we are and whatever happens, happens. Um, but as far as me personally, like I said, I'm in my hometown right now visiting my mom for the weekend. and I would love to play at the Illinois State Fair. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like state fairs or whatever, but I grew up 5 minutes from it. That would kind of be a dream. Or I've got a ton of venues I'd love to play. Massey Hall in Toronto, where Rush did
Uh-huh.
their first live album and stuff. But I don't know, man. I guess it kind of goes back to what I just said. The Midwest laid back thing is like,
Just
I don't know.
whatever.
We're
Just
just yeah, we're just we're just kind of doing it, and like the goal, the things that we've accomplished right now, or things have been plopped in our laps or earned or whatever you want to call it. Like I don't know if they would have been considered goals when I first started playing. We just want to know, like like
mm-hmm.
it's like I want to do music, I want to play music, and I want to go play shows all over the place. Then you find out, oh, well, I gotta do this, and this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
talk to this guy. I gotta be signed to this. This dude gatekeeps this area of the world and all this and all crap. So I think that's the goal, man, is to keep a level head and to stay Midwest, if that's what you want to call it, and just be cool and laid back. It's
Never
more,
never change that attitude. I mean, I think that's a
yeah.
great attitude.
I think we're all capable of it, but I don't see it being likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, never know.
Outside of music, what is something that brings you peace?
Oh man, earthly things. Uh, Illinois Fighting Illini basketball.
Yeah.
I'm a big Illini fan. Fishing, golfing. I suck at it, but it's fun to go with friends.
Yeah. I think everybody sucks at it. Like
Yeah,
it seems
dude.
like
I always say the best thing to do I like going with people like one guy who's insanely good, just so it's
yeah.
like, wow, that guy's amazing. But if he's chilled out about it, but my favorite thing to do is like 4 or 5 friends, and like we all suck, but like make sure one guy in the group takes it way too seriously because he also sucks, and he's cussing up a storm, he's freaking
Just
out, he's
pissed.
throwing
Yeah.
stuff, and we're just like laughing at him. So that's my favorite thing to do. But I mean, yeah, outside of music with the band, obviously friends and family. Like I have a community that really just can't be described. It's past support, it's past like family, as far as like, you know, words that you can use to like, cliche stuff. Yeah, they're family, but I couldn't both, physically and literally, like metaphorically, whatever. I could not have can't be here without them. So that brings me a lot of peace. Um, just things I have faith in that aren't earthly brings me complete peace. I don't know, man. I'm just really enjoying being alive currently, and not because of the music, just because of just things that have happened in the past few years that have forced me to create my own foundation instead of relying on parents and other people. And I don't want to be the 28-year-old that looks back in 30 years and be like, God, I thought I knew everything. But I
Right.
do feel like I figured some things out in my life personally. So I don't know. Not every day is good, but like it's still good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do. I think that's a great attitude to have, man. And something tells me you will be playing the Illinois State Fair before too long.
That would be
Like
so tight,
like
man. You're walking around. Yeah.
a late when the sun's down. Stars
Yeah.
come
Thank
out at
God.
night, baby. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Specifically there, I want the sun to be down because it's blistering.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need the sun to literally go down, not just metaphor.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That would be amazing, man. I'm just so much about. I always say I'm on the shoulders of giants who are still with us and those who aren't as well. And it's just not. It's not for me. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be one of those guys that says it's not somewhat about me. Like if I didn't want to do this, I wouldn't do it. And it is quite nice to be respected and be seen. But yeah, it's something like that would be. I mean, it's making me emotional saying it. Like everything I do is a win for my community. Everything my community does is a win for me. But specifically, if I were to play the Illinois State Fair, that would be such like a moment for like, you know, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like playing home. It's like, wow, man, like, a homecoming of sorts. so many full circle things have been happening, and that would be great. If that were to happen. If it doesn't, that's cool too. But yeah.
Well, I think you're on the right track for a lot of good stuff happening, and I think there's not a lot of bands that can be putting in the work and to what you're feeling musically is being felt by the people, you know. So it's just a tough combination to get. So really happy for you.
Thanks, man.
It would be great, like we could maybe check in like midway through that tour and just see how things
Yeah.
are going and just
I
get
would
a little
enjoy that.
snippet. Yeah, but
It would also probably like help me not feel like a zombie,
yeah,
like talking to somebody I know. But
yeah.
yeah, I appreciate what you're saying because I mean, for the majority of the COVID era stuff, you've been there all along the way, giving me advice and encouragement and all that. So that doesn't go forgotten. I appreciate it a lot.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. I like it when I see good people who work hard and play good music. So,
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
really simple. But thank you so much for joining me, man.
Dude, of course. Yeah. I always enjoy talking to you, and I'm glad we can make it work.
Yeah, learned a lot about you and a lot about your band, and I think things are going to continue to go your way based on this conversation and just hearing how you guys are mentally taking all of this on.
Well, cool, man. Yeah, we're doing our best. I mean, we're babies in this world, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks to folks like you and a lot of other friends, we can stay straight up and just keep having fun and pushing forward. You know.
Well, keep rocking, man.
Awesome. Thanks, dude.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with Tyler as much as I did. It was really refreshing to talk to him. He just, has a lot of, he has a very positive attitude. It kind of made me want to reevaluate my attitude and just be grateful for the things I have. Maybe it made you feel that way too. That's cool. But make sure that you check out the band Feel, of which he is the lead guitarist and songwriter. Really cool group of dudes putting out some awesome heavy hitting rock and roll. And for those of you listening out of state, check the Dirty Honey calendar and make sure you go out and see them. I'll link some stuff to them below in the comments, so I hope you enjoy that. But as always, thank you so much for joining me. Really enjoying doing these, and the best thing you could do for us, if you like it too, is just to spread this to your friends, share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, all that good stuff. But thank you so much. Again, this has been episode 21 of Backstage at Open Highway. We're gonna rock your face.